Resource Africa is a non-profit organization established in 1996 for the sole purpose of mobilizing communities to manage natural resources. Over the years, we've been very active in policy formulation as well as establishment of local-based structures to manage these resources. We have had very good relationships with government, particularly the Department of Environmental Affairs, SANParks, and agencies across the country. Together, we have trained communities across the country in community-based natural resource management. We have established community-based projects, which includes tourism-based initiatives as well as medicinal plant gardens. We have created awareness about the program across the country over the recent past. The 2003 World Park Congress, hosted by South Africa in Durban, once again reaffirmed the commitment of different nations, including South Africa, to allow access in parks. It once again ensured that communities will no longer just be stakeholders, but be shareholders in the management of parks.
In 2004, the DEA, in association with SANParks, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the German Agency for Technical Cooperation, and the Greater St. Lucia Wetlands Park Authority organized the first National People and Parks Conference. It was held in Mpumalanga and was attended by government, private operators, communities, NGOs, and other interest groups. The aim of the conference was to produce a plan that addressed issues at the interface between communities and conservation, particularly in terms of South Africa's obligations regarding the implementation of Element 2 of the Protected Areas Programme of the Convention on Biodiversity. Specifically, the objectives of the conference were to review South Africa's progress towards the implementation of the World Parks Congress Outcomes and Targets, the CBD Programme of Work on Protected Areas, and the Cape Vidal Memorandum. To improve understanding and communication of issues affecting communities and protected area agencies through the establishment of a forum for dialogue. To facilitate networking and information sharing between communities who share similar histories and experiences in their relationship with conservation agencies. To facilitate the input of community issues into national legislative and policy-making processes, including the Protected Areas Act and the Communal Land Rights Act. The slogan adopted by the conference defined the vision for the program: conservation for the people, with the people.
Critical issues emerging from the three conferences was poor communication between government and communities, lack of awareness about the policies of government and the program itself, the need for enterprise development to support poverty alleviation, as well as development of skills for communities to actively participate in the management of natural resources. So yes, you ahead.
The department and its partners developed an action plan with 6 thematic areas. 1. Access and benefit sharing in protected areas. 2. Establishment of co-management agreements. 3. Promoting community public-private partnerships. 4. Land reform and conservation. 5. Strengthening and expansion of the Protected Areas Network. And 6. Implementing the Protected Areas Act. The second People and Parks Conference, held in Beaufort West in 2006, reviewed the progress and constraints in each thematic area and analyzed the challenges and opportunities that the various agencies have faced in implementing the action plan. An absence of appropriate tools and guidelines, together with inadequate financial resources, were highlighted as the major constraints. The third conference in Mafeking 2008 revealed that, although the action plan had met with some success, communities felt disempowered. Inadequate institutional capacity and limited financial resources were cited as the key constraints for implementation of the program. The conference was also presented with a National Protected Areas Expansion Strategy, together with a co-management framework and a Memorandum of Agreement for implementation of this new program.
We salute the National Lottery Distribution Trust Fund for supporting this program. Together we'll change lives. The voiceless will be heard very loudly. Resource Africa, together with its partners, aim to support the People and Parks program through awareness, using theatre outreach program,
This is just a brief, just a teaser of what you're going to be seeing in the next 3 years, the People and Parks program. Definitely, this is the community outreach program where we work with the youths from all the communities in the 9 provinces of South Africa, bringing them together for one purpose, one specific cause, the People and Parks program. So what you're going to see in the next 3 years is where we've got the youth coming in for a cause, and this cause is raising awareness using theater, using drama, storytelling, all the genres in the performing arts. The scripts are developed by the cast. Issues about the parks, issues about co-management, all the issues that you can think of that are relating to the People and Parks program.
Specifically, we aim to communicate People and Parks issues and community adaptation to climate change.
Climate change has become a major challenge to biodiversity conservation and also to rural livelihoods. It is now recognized as a potentially devastating threat to the global environment and thus a further contributor to rural poverty in Africa. South Africa faces a particularly strong challenge to develop adaptation and mitigation strategies to address climate change. This is because the forecasted changes to temperatures and rainfall in South Africa over the next 10 to 20 years point to significant implications for biodiversity and environmental management, with existing PAs unlikely to retain their current habitat and species coverage. For communities with a strong dependence on natural resources in marginal lands close to protected areas, the current and predicted trends of climate change will increase pressures for access to resources, particularly land and water. Climate change is clearly a significant factor for the PNPP. South Africa hosts the Convention of Parties to the UN Framework Convention for Climate Change in December 2011. And there exists an opportunity for the PNPP to showcase how South Africa has responded to climate change in the People and Parks context. A key role of this project is therefore to support and capacitate rural communities to develop management regimes that conserve the biodiversity upon which they depend and to develop and implement adaptations to climate change.
Secondly, we aim to empower communities through intensive capacity building training workshops.
The training will be conducted using a manual specifically designed for the People and Parks program. It will be a toolkit that contains various tools that can be used for understanding the many issues that the People and Parks program addresses. The development of the toolkit has been a participatory, consultative process, and participants have included the Department of Environmental Affairs, provincial agencies, environmental and legal experts, as well as representatives from the Community People and Parks Steering Committee. Together we have identified the critical areas for capacity building. In line with this, the toolkit will include understanding the co-management framework to access benefit sharing, with an emphasis on direct and indirect benefits. The toolkit will also contain elements of land restitution models and a range of tried and tested tools for participatory planning and project implementation. The scope of the project looks at training individuals in over 30 parks. We aim to train at least 1,000 stakeholders for the duration of this project. This will include park authorities, community beneficiaries, local government representatives, relevant NGOs, CBOs, and other identified stakeholders.
You have heard about the toolkit. It is only the theory. Right now, we're bringing you the practical, where we'll be smiling, dancing, singing. But the message is, we want you to learn together with us as we unfold the story.
Thirdly, it is our view that parks have a real potential to become centers of economic development. It is against this background that this initiative will also be identifying enterprises as well as business linkages in order to diversify income-generating opportunities for communities living around parks.
At the same time, opportunities are emerging for income diversification from new and evolving markets for carbon sequestration and payments for ecosystem services.
Let's do this together. This is conservation for the people, with the people.
We look forward to an exciting process of learning and sharing knowledge with you.
We look forward to taking this journey with you. Enkosi, siyabulela, danki, thank you, liyalebucha.